Hey there, and here's your Rogue Trader weekly trading summary. It's April 11th, and notice I said weekly trading summary and not daily trading summary because, I'm not doing them daily anymore. I just don't have the time, and I think weekly I can pack in a lot of the data more concisely so you can more clearly see what the heck we're doing. And, of course, if you want to follow along with us, you can check us out. You can join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Roguetrader.academy. Or join us at Roguetrader.academy.com and follow our live trades and all that good stuff. All right, so let's quickly get into it. Now, this has been a very, very interesting week. We've had this kind of having, I don't want to say a letdown because a lot of people were expecting a price decline. I wasn't expecting things to go lower than the low 60s. We had a couple wicks down into the 60s, which are incredible trading opportunities, as I'll show you in just a moment on the charts. And we've been held in this range, the low 70s to low 60s. I said, you know what, until the halving's finished, I kind of expect that range to hold. Although some news has come out lately, which may cause things to change a little faster than I expected. And I'm leaning more to the upside. Nothing new there. I'm long-term bullish on Bitcoin like most people are. So I'm just doing things to ensure that if the price of Bitcoin does go up, I'm on board and I'm accumulating more Bitcoin all the time. And in fact, our Synth Miner account is kicking ass, and I'll show you the stats for that in just a minute. But first, let me show you the charts, and I'll just talk a little bit about what we've been doing the last week. All right, here you can see the Bitcoin chart. This is a 1 hour chart. Now, yesterday, this right here, this area right here where I'm circling in, this was just before the CPI print came out. The Consumer Price Index came out yesterday, came out a little bit hot. I was concerned before that, so I covered a lot of my short puts, and I decided that I thought that if there's a knee-jerk reaction, if it comes in hot, if it goes down and we go right back up, for me, that's very, very bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw new highs by next week, end of April, certainly the beginning of May. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe even this week. Who knows, depending on what was going on. We'll see. So what did I do? Well, remember I said we've been in that range from kind of low 60s at the extreme bottom to low 70s? So here's what I did. We dipped down here. Well, I was perfectly happy to sell put spreads down there. I had a lot of extra coverage because I was anticipating the CPI print. So I was buying some long coverage, puts and calls. As soon as we bounced up, I'll sell call spreads up here all day long and use this prior resistance as a battering ram or as a point where I can hide in behind. Again, as double, triple covered on some expiries and strikes. So I made a lot of money in 2 days on that. Now, mostly the discretionary accounts. Now, the Rogue Trader Zigdao account, I did do that, but I did a little bit more lately because I'm cleaning up and recovering that book. What do I expect? Well, you know what? Let's face it. We're sitting up here, even this area, we're $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 from all-time highs. We're holding just underneath all-time highs. One thing we know for sure, it's not going to stay here. It's either going to go down or up from here. And significantly, and probably in a short period of time, I'm leaning to the upside like most people are. Now, some news came out earlier this week that in Hong Kong, they're going to be launching ETFs, and they're going to try and fast track the regulatory or the regulations to get those approved. If we start seeing a lot of inflows from China coming into these funds, that could really push things up. Who knows, right? So we're pretty happy with that. It's been a great week of trading. Vols have been pretty high. They've come down. They've come down this afternoon, right before the U.S. Open. I'm filming this, maybe a half hour or so before the U.S. Open. That's very interesting to me that vols are dropping off before the U.S. Maybe they know something I don't, probably. But it's been great trading because we've been stuck in that range. We go to the bottom of the range, I'm selling spreads there. Go to the top of the range, I'm selling spreads there. I do take some directional trades as well, or more directional. Though I guess those are technically directional trades. But I did buy some directional long trades where I'm buying at the money end of April calls, and I'm selling 2 end of April, or sometimes longer dated calls with a much higher strike to pay for it. And I usually always receive a credit, because if I'm wrong and the price doesn't go, I still want to get paid anyways, right? Who doesn't want to get paid for being wrong, right? So, but if it goes, I want to make money. And if it goes and those short strikes get tested, I'm just going to adjust them. I'll adjust them over to puts, or I'll do whatever I need to do depending on the skew at that particular time. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is the results from our synthetic miner account. It's been kicking ass. Let me bring that up. There. So basically, we've had this account now for we started 6 weeks ago. Okay, we started with $5,200, which was about 0.0825 of a Bitcoin. The whole point of this account is to accumulate more Bitcoin, whether we're going sideways, slightly down, up, exploding up, doesn't matter. We want more Bitcoin because we think this could be at 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever it might be, whether that's in 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, doesn't matter. We want to have more Bitcoin. Okay. Started off with 0.0825. We're now up to 0.0928. Okay. So we're up from last week. Everything's up from last week. We've basically earned for free 11% more Bitcoin in 6 weeks doing this strategy. Okay. We can see our cash values up. Our annualized return is 626 for the mining, 111%. And we maybe spend half an hour a week. Now, here is the chart I wanted to show you. Now, the red line, which is the flat line along the bottom, is if you're just hodling Bitcoin. You're just holding Bitcoin. You've got 0.01 of the Bitcoin. You've got 200 Bitcoins. Who knows? You hodl that thing, you're never going to have more Bitcoin. Again, our account generates more Bitcoin. Now, we're only putting in the data points each week. We might want to do it more often to smooth this out a little bit, but you can see went up, came down, up, and now we're climbing up once we got the account going. So we're always accumulating more Bitcoin. In fact, we're up 11%, as I mentioned. And here you can see the US dollar return with the synthetic miner versus US dollar return hodling. So we're making more money in US dollar terms as well. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today. And of course, you can follow us anytime you want on our Patreon, Rogue Trader Academy, or just go to Roguetrader.academy and check us out and see what we're doing. You can ask questions. You can see our live trades from our discretionary accounts, from our synthetic miner account, all the different types of strategies we deploy in our trading of Bitcoin options. So that's it for today. Actually, that's it for this week, and I'll see you next week.